I'm offering the donor edition of a true crime story I wrote about one of my cases as a private investigator called Coal Tar. Corporate greed and political corruption killing children with cancer. The title really tells the story, doesn't it? It's about my investigation of rare childhood cancer called neuroblastoma. The corporate executives were never charged with any crime, but make no mistake about it. It was a crime to expose pregnant mothers and children to the most potent carcinogen known to science, coal tar. Let me read a paragraph from the introduction of my book. It really tells the relevance of this story today, even though it happened more than 30 years ago. Today, people bemoan the death of democracy, weeping at its funeral, as if it were a recent tragedy that suddenly struck America. But as this story tells, the grip of corporations around the neck of democracy began decades ago, killing it over time, corrupting politics and politicians with immense sums of money that now influences the outcomes of political campaigns like the Gilded Age of so long ago. Let me skip ahead to the last paragraph. In the introduction, I tell the story of Percival Pott, a physician in England who noticed an increase in scrotal cancers in the chimney sweeps. You know, unlike Mary Poppins' movie from the 60s, these chimney sweeps weren't, singing and dancing on the rooftops. They were being exposed to coal tar in the flues of the chimneys where they would work often nude because their small bodies would get stuck, and clothing would only hinder that as well. I also describe in 1915 a team of Japanese scientists tested Pott's theory 140 years later by painting the ears of 101 rabbits with coal tar, which they repeated every 2 to 3 days. The scientists discovered abnormal growths of tumors on the ears where coal tar had been applied. Tumors developed in some rabbits within 30 days. With prolonged exposure, all developed cancer after 150 days. Every subsequent study by scientists produced similar findings as laboratory testing switched to using rats, mice, and monkeys instead. More than 7 decades later, an experiment of another sort would happen involving children and pregnant mothers who were exposed to coal tar without their knowledge in Taylorville, Illinois, and Morgan City, Louisiana. But it was not part of a scientific experiment, for the use of human subjects in an observational study of this kind would violate every sense of decency we have as humans. No. Rather than science, which would have saved them, it was corporate greed, enabled by political corruption, that killed the children in this story. To get a copy of my book, all you have to do is give the gift of freedom by making a tax-deductible donation to Investigating Innocence. It's a not-for-profit organization I started after moving to Kentucky after Illinois abolished the death penalty. Our tiny little organization of private investigators has worked to free 3 innocent people from prison. So scan the QR code. You can read about those cases at the end and give generously so I can help free those who still remain confined behind bars. As a bonus, if you're really generous, you'll get a free Tom and Gary t-shirt. You can read the story in Investigating Innocence magazine online. Just follow the links when you scan the QR code. But we'll also, you can help advocate for Governor Pritzker in Illinois to free Tom and Gary before Christmas. So act fast, donate now, so we can fill these donor gifts by Christmas. But also, make a donation to your local library, high school libraries in your community. Donate a box of 5 books. If if you give generously enough. But people should know the story and its relevance today. So, folks, please scan the QR code. Help us free the wrongfully convicted. Thank you.